but wouldn't you at least make it look like you were in your house? Maybe go to a part of the hotel that looked like a house, or go to a friend's house if your wife's not letting you in. When you're accused of these things by women, the last place you want to make the video that you're doing, which you shouldn't even make the video, but you make the video, is in a hotel room. And it doesn't look like a nice hotel room either. It looks kind of cheap. All right, so let me play his response to that. Yeah, we do. Yeah, family and friends in a cheap hotel room. You know, and the thing about Swalwell here, okay, he has no friends. His friends are only friends with him because he has access and he's connected. He's out, he's done. So I'd very much like to hear your thoughts on this. The number is 888-465-2631. If you're new to the program, this is the Brian Craig Show podcast, where MAGA comes to talk. My name is Brian Craig, and the Brian Craig Show podcast is available wherever you get podcast. But if you want to catch the live show and in video form, that's on YouTube at Brian Craig Show. And if you're watching live on YouTube, you can call in live, and the number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. Obviously, Eric Swalwell is done. But what do you think? Is he going to face criminal charges? You know, it amazes me. You know, you look at Bill Cosby, right? They come back like over 50 years later. Is Eric Swalwell facing prison charges? These are serious allegations. They really are. And this guy's been so arrogant about such things. Here he is at a congressional hearing talking to Kristi Noem and the great Tom Homan. Oh, boy. Wow. You know, and another thing he's got going against him, he's despicable. Nobody likes him. Okay. Even Democrats don't like him. And all the Democrats have dropped him. They have four accusers, including this one brave girl who gave the interview to CNN. I mean, everything's going against him. Okay. And also, there's just endless moments like this of him grandstanding, taking the moral high ground against everything and anything that he is being accused of doing. All right, I'll take some calls. I got a lot to cover here. We're going to go through this whole Swalwell thing because, you know, it's not often that the Democrats purge their own party of a scumbag. So we're going to enjoy and savor that on the program today. If you're new, make sure you follow or subscribe. And those of you watching on YouTube, please like the video. Liking the video helps spread the word about the channel and get it recommended to people that have not yet found me. So please like the video, those of you watching on YouTube. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning, IB.
Hey, IB, what's up?
In the famous words of Jackie Gleason, oh, how sweet it is.
Yes.
Because you played the perfect clip, because I was calling in to say how they're all disgusting. All the Democrats are disgusting when they're grilling us Republicans in these hearings. And the fact that you put on the perfect video of him saying you're going to be parked in that chair.
Yeah.
His ass is going to be parked in the real deal with bars, because we have a woman coming forward. Okay.
Yep.
Now she has to go all the way. She has to go all the way. Unlike these Epstein women. Okay. She has to go all the way, and this guy should have been gone a long time ago.
Well, see, now this hold on, slow down for a second. You know, what you brought up is so true. And this fits into what the most beautiful first lady that's ever walked the earth, Melania Trump, the other day. You know, this girl on CNN, while currently she has hidden her identity, I could understand. I mean, this guy has sex with Chinese spies. He's a dangerous guy, Eric. I'd be scared of Swalwell. But they have 4 accusers naming him. These Epstein victims, they won't give us names. It's almost like they're protecting the victimizers, the Epstein women, right?
Perpetrators, yeah, right. Yeah, that's great. So this is good, man, because you know what? The midterms is so important, and to see the light shed on the disgustingness of the Democrats. Remember the 2 guys were doing the nasty in the Senate, in the chamber.
Oh yes,
on the table.
The 2 guys that were having the sex, yeah.
No scruples, and to see something finally happening to the Democrats who always make things.
Well, you know, I gotta tell you, it is so. Hold on one second here. I got all my phones are ringing off the hook. Hold on, there we go. All right, sorry about that. You know, it's this guy. He should have been run out of government back during that Fang sex scandal, and he probably should have been prosecuted back then. How did he not know that he had been seduced by a Chinese spy? Of course he knew she was a spy, right?
Yeah, all of them. Going back to the other lady that had the driver for like over 22 years, and and luckily she retired. Remember the other lady? I forgot her name right now. That had the Chinese chauffeur who had access to everything she was saying. And all.
By the way, some people in the chat room are saying, I heard there were more than 4 women. CNN has spoken to 4 women and has given credibility to their stories. So CNN, which is, you know, and the reason it's important to go to CNN is they're the Democrat news source of record. So CNN is confirming 4 women accusers and their stories that they're giving credibility to, that they've already vetted, right? That's why I'm using the CNN story. Anyway, go ahead, IB.
No, that's cool. That's cool, because what's ironic is that every time they have a situation politics-wise, they always want to throw in a lie, like E. Jean Carroll, or the woman who tried to say, well, when Kavanaugh was in the college party, they had a line outside the door having sex with girls. They make all this stuff up, but to see that what actually happens, the things that they do, that they try to reflect on us, is actually coming to fruition.
Yes.
So when I pick up the phone to call you, I simply call to say, no matter how long it takes, karma is a you-know-what.
Well, I would say I appreciate the call. What do you guys think? Is Eric Swalwell going to end up in jail? Pretty serious charges with these allegations. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Tyler from Nevada.
Hey, what's up, Nevada?
Just curious, man. Are you happy about Americans dying for Israel again, once more?
I'm not familiar with that happening.
Well, are you sure? We've been doing it for the last 20 years. This is Iraq 2.0.
When have Americans died? When have Americans died for Israel?
Have you not heard about the soldiers dying in Iran and the jet that got shot down and all that?
You mean the jet that got shot down where no Americans were killed? No, I'm not familiar. No, I'm familiar with Iran, but you made a statement that I don't understand. That you say Americans dying for Israel. That no one died in the jet. You know.
Well, I mean, dying for America. I mean, the last.
Oh, dying for America. Well, you know, listen, we have a 100% volunteer military. People enlist in the military to stand up and fight and defend the United States. And so anyone that's in the service is there because they want to be, and they are where they want to be. We don't have a draft. So these people have volunteered to stand up for America and fight for America.
They're not standing up for America. They're not.
What's so funny?
What's up with these files? These Epstein files?
No. We're not changing. We're not changing the subject. We have a 100% volunteer. We have a 100% volunteer military. Everybody that's in it is in the military because they want to be in it and they want to follow the commander-in-chief and the orders they're given. And that's the way it is. No one is in the military who doesn't want to be there with 100% military. This is not Vietnam where there was a draft. You're aware of that, correct?
I'm aware.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness. All right. Back to the planet Earth. So one of Eric Swalwell's big problems is that he's always taken the moral high ground. Here's another clip. Oh, that's great. Well, hey, listen, you know, all this talk about files. How about the Feng Feng files? Wouldn't you like to see the Feng Feng files released unredacted? I support releasing all the Feng Feng files. And furthermore, you know, Congress, this has been a long-running thing with the scumbag Democrats in the Congress. They have internal records of congressmen who have had accusations made against them by staffers. So I believe we should release any files involving Eric Swalwell. Do you guys support releasing the Swalwell files? The Feng Feng files? Absolutely, 100% unredacted. I'll sign that. Yeah, let's sign the petition to release the Feng Feng files, please, and all files relating to Eric Swalwell. Will you guys sign that? Can we start a petition on one of those petition websites? Can we do that? Oh, Eric Swalwell. Eric Swalwell. Uh-oh, he's in trouble. Dollar store Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, has released a statement following the incredibly Dollar Store Obama. When you're a Democrat and Dollar Store Obama is out against you and CNN, you're done. Okay, here's a statement from Dollar Store Obama, Hakeem Jeffries. Following the incredibly disturbing sexual assault accusations against Congressman Eric Swalwell, we call for a swift investigation into these incidents and for the congressman to immediately end his campaign to be California's next governor. This is unacceptable of anyone, certainly not an elected official, and must be taken seriously. We commend the courageous women for sharing their experiences in this and all circumstances. We must ensure that those who come forward with allegations of sexual assault and harassment are heard and respected. All perpetrators of sexual assault and harassment must be held accountable. And of course, right, guys, all women should be believed. Right, that's right. Dollar Store Obama didn't say all women should be believed, but I stand with that. Do you believe women should be believed? Absolutely. Me too. I agree. Me too. Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. He's got CNN against him. Dollar Store Obama's against him. And here he is. Here's Eric Swalwell. He seems to be in hotels a lot, doesn't he? He seems to spend a lot of time in hotels. What's he always doing at hotels? Here's Eric Swalwell in a hotel. This is February 2025. Nick Sweater, he's being asked about Feng Feng. You know, look at this guy. He should assume any woman that has sex with him is a spy. I mean, any women that would want to have sex with this guy? Oh my goodness. But anyway, listen, here's Eric Swalwell. Looks to be at another hotel. One correction, Nick Slaughter. They weren't sleeping, I promise you. They were having sex. But anyway, you know, don't want to interrupt him. This is good. Oh, I love it. Yeah, good questions. I love these questions. Yes. Look at his face. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Look at his face. Look at his face. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That was a good one. You gotta love that one. You gotta love that one. It does not get better. Oh my goodness. Eric Swalwell in another dirty hotel room. Any of you guys know Dan Bell on YouTube? Dan Bell has this channel, Another Dirty Hotel Room. Have you ever seen this channel? I caution you, it's pretty gross sometimes. But he goes to cheap hotel rooms and does YouTube videos on cheap hotel rooms. Gets out the black light. That's Eric Swalwell, right? Another Dirty Hotel Room with Eric Swalwell. Yes. Okay. Not anymore. That's your problem. We do. Oh yeah, I can't wait for that update. Does it look like he's spending time with family and friends? He's in this hotel room. My name is Brian. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll free. It's pinned in the live chat if you're watching on YouTube. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. Okay, the Daily Mail, they've got the story. Oh, my goodness. Aspiring Governor Eric Swalwell issued an apology to his wife. Yeah, that's how I always apologize to my wife. I make videos and I post them on social media. That's the great communication my wife and I have. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? Aspiring California Governor Eric Swalwell issued an apology to his wife as part of a video response to sexual assault and misconduct claims against him as his campaign hangs in the balance. The anti-Trump congressman posted the video to social media as more women came out to make accusations of misconduct and more Democrats demanded he step aside. A lot has been said about me today through anonymous allegations, and I thought it was important that you see and hear from me directly, Swalwell said. I'd rather hear from Fang Fang. He also suggested conspiracy when he pointed out that they were released on the eve of the June 2nd primary, in which he claimed to be the frontrunner. Through Real Clear Politics, average shows him trailing Steve Hilton, the Republican, in the primary. They have some weird system out there in California. So Steve Hilton is closer to being governor today, and Steve Hilton has the endorsement of the President of the United States, Donald Trump, so that's great. Swalwell addressed his wife, Brittany, saying he apologizes to her deeply for putting her in this position. The congressman also apologized to his supporters if any of the allegations had made them doubt their support for him. Yes. His poor wife. But, she went through the Fang Fang. I mean, that was... Karen Bass, mayor of LA. Hopefully Spencer Pratt will be the next mayor. Swalwell, did not make any clarification about whether he'd stay in the race. And by the way, he didn't deny that he had sex with these women, did he? He did not deny that he had sex with them. He did not make any clarification about whether he would stay in the race, but restated his case as someone who could not engage in this sort of behavior. Swalwell finished by saying he would spend the weekend having time with family and friends. At least 4 women have now accused the congressman of sexual misconduct, including a former staffer's claim that he assaulted her twice, the New York Post reported. Yeah, it's pretty sad. And I know some of these people are saying, well, what do you mean twice? How'd that happen? Well, that's what happens a lot of times to these victims. They're with these men, they have power over them, and sadly, they go back to them sometimes. And I remind you, Juanita Broderick, she was raped twice by Bill Clinton, according to her. And I know her, and she's someone I would believe, and I do believe. Another woman told CNN that she and Swalwell were at a bar when she went to go to the bathroom and lost her memory of what happened afterwards. Isn't that interesting? She said she woke up naked the next morning in his hotel room without even realizing it was his. The anonymous woman said that she has flashes of Swalwell grabbing her and also telling him no. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass became the latest prominent Democrat to condemn Swalwell Friday after House Majority Leader Dallas Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, Governor Gavin Newsom, and longtime Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi. Mr. Swalwell should end his campaign and resign from Congress immediately. His conduct is incompatible with elected office. The women who came forward deserve to be heard and deserve justice, Pelosi wrote. The Democrat whip and the Democrat caucus chair issued a statement alongside Dallas Obama calling for an investigation. According to a spokesperson for Pelosi, Pelosi called for the extremely sensitive allegations to be appropriately investigated. Yeah, I stand by that. The young woman who has made serious allegations against Congressman Swalwell must be respected and heard, Pelosi said. This extremely sensitive matter must be appropriately investigated with full transparency and accountability. As I discussed with Congressman Swalwell, it is clear that it is best done outside of a gubernatorial campaign. That's right. I wouldn't be surprised if we found he was trying to get to China to get back with Fang Fang. Politico reported, which, by the way, is also liberal. You notice these are liberal sources for the most part. Got New York Post in there. But most of the reporting on this is coming from liberal CNN, liberal Politico, which is good. They're going after their own. Politico reported that at least 4, that's why he's done, because the Democrats are after him. Politico reported that at least 4 staffers on Swalwell's gubernatorial campaign have abruptly departed. Rumors have swirled online for days that something discrediting about Swalwell was about to be exposed. It comes as Swalwell appeared to be pushing through a crowded field of Democrats ahead of California's nonpartisan June 2nd primary. Swalwell suggested the allegations were time to tank his rising campaign. That doesn't make the allegations any less credible. You know, this is kind of like an October surprise in April. These allegations are false, he says again, blah, blah, blah. He's been married to his wife for 10 years. Before the sexual assault allegations came out, Swalwell had appeared to be benefiting politically from another salacious story about him in the news. Late last month, FBI Director Kash Patel, if they say exposed, I don't know why that word would be used. This is Daily Mail I'm reading from. For trying to resurrect an investigation into suspected Chinese spy who laid a honey trap and targeted Swalwell more than a decade ago. Pelosi was trying to have documents, Patel, excuse me, not Pelosi. Patel was trying to have documents released about the Fang Fang investigation. The Washington Post, another liberal paper, first reported on this. No, they call it a scheme. Is it a scheme? I mean, the guy's having sex with Chinese spies. I don't think the scheme is that he got away with it. Noting how highly unusual it would be for the FBI to release files from an investigation that didn't result in charges. There was no evidence of wrongdoing on Swalwell's part. I don't know about that. That's an investigation that needs to be reopened. What Swalwell had done is criticize President Trump and served as an impeachment manager. Well, now he is in trouble. And, you know, this could not happen to a nicer guy. All right, here's the Gateway Pundit. You know, there's hardly, this is the headline story everywhere. Oh my goodness, look at this. The Gateway Pundit, huge. Democrat shift. Pelosi turn on Swalwell and withdrawal endorsements. You have to, if you're a Democrat, especially a California Democrat, and Adam Schiff is giving credibility to the allegations, you're done. You're cooked. It's it. You know this. And Adam Schiff has no morals whatsoever. I've never heard him take a moral stand in my life. The Gateway Pundit, creepy Democrat Eric Swalwell is going down in flames. Swalwell is currently running as a Democrat in California's gubernatorial race. As the Gateway Pundit reported early on Friday, the San Francisco Chronicle, another liberal publication, published a story about a woman who claimed that Democrat Eric Swalwell sexually assaulted her twice. The woman, who worked as a staffer in Swalwell's office for 2 years, told the San Francisco Chronicle that Swalwell began pursuing her just weeks after she was hired at the age of 21 in 2019. A woman who worked for nearly 2 years for Rep. Eric Swalwell, a leading candidate for California governor, said she had sexual encounters with him while he was her boss. And by the way, that's enough. That's sexual misconduct right there. And alleged he twice sexually assaulted her when she was too intoxicated to consent, the liberal San Francisco Chronicle reported. Notice again, liberal papers. Swalwell denied the allegations. Yes, everyone's lying but Eric Swalwell, right? Everyone's lying but him. These allegations are false, he says, for nearly 20 years, blah, 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 you know, blah, 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 blah. Schiff, Adam Schiff, scumbag Schiff. Adam Schiff withdrew his endorsement of Eric Swalwell and called on him to drop out of California's gubernatorial race. Adam Schiff said this: I have read the San Francisco Chronicle's account, and I am deeply distressed by its allegations. This woman was brave to come forward, and we should take her story seriously, Adam Schiff said. I am withdrawing my endorsement immediately and believe that he should withdraw from the race, Adam Schiff added. Oh, my goodness. You know, Adam Schiff, when, let me see if I can find this story. Okay, yeah, let's go through the, let me see, is it behind a paywall? It might be. Hold on. Yeah, unfortunately, it's behind a paywall. I'm not going to subscribe to the San Francisco Chronicle guys. I'm sorry. I'm not going to give these. I'm not going to give these liberals any money. But let's see here. All right, what else do? Oh yes, OAN, One American News. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. By the way, welcome. If you're new to my program, make sure you subscribe and follow on whatever platform you're listening on. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like the video. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. Here we have One American News. And fans. This, by the way, this girl here that's talking, she is a Democrat activist, okay? So notice this is all coming from Democrats. Oh. Yeah, yes, yeah, exactly. The San Francisco Chronicle and Democrat activists and CNN are helping MAGA. Yeah, keep going with that one, Eric Swalwell. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Jocelyn, I'm out of California.
Oh, well, hey, California may have been saved here by these brave victims who have come forward.
Well, thanks them very much. They're doing the Lord's work.
No doubt.
It's going to be a beautiful race in California. We have two Republicans with extraordinarily high numbers, and now they're going to have to pick between a billionaire and a psychotic female. Do you remember that female that ended up going like crazy when she was being interviewed?
No, who's that?
I think it's Potter, her last name is. She was female. She ended up walking out of an interview saying that she wasn't going to be answering questions, and they were fundamentally just appropriate questions.
Oh, I have to look that one up. I don't recall that one offhand, but
she had a restraining order.
Well, let me ask you: do you think that Eric Swalwell may end up being arrested and charged with these crimes? They're pretty serious.
It kind of depends. I mean, it depends on when the crimes occurred.
Bill Cosby, they got Bill Cosby in prison for 50+ year crimes. There's no statute of limitations on this anymore. Remember, all the Democrats push for that law. Women should be believed, and they put people in prison all the time with 50-year-old allegations.
Listen, anything is possible, but don't forget, we have absolutely insane judges running around that are willing to give individuals.
He's got Pelosi and Adam. He's got Pelosi and Adam Schiff and the governor, right? Gavin Newsom, after telling him to drop out and saying these women should be heard.
Well, like I said, if he was not criminally prosecuted, I would not, or if he was and ended up getting a slap on the wrist, I would not be surprised because of our judicial system. Do I want to see him prosecuted? Yes, of course I do. I think if these women end up testifying and giving their testimony, and a judge of his peers ends up finding him guilty of it, I would love to see him convicted and put in jail, because it sounds like he's a serial rapist from the sounds of it. But I mean, like I said, I live in the state, and I've seen some of the actions of these individuals that sit on the bench, and it's absolutely disgusting. And let's not forget, he has the money to put up a defense. And
does he really? I mean, when you look at what he has against him. CNN, San Francisco Chronicle, Gavin Newsom, Adam Schiff, Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries. there's not a single Democrat that's not trying to run him out of the race. He is a man alone. He has no friends, no contacts.
But politically speaking, and then, you know, when you're speaking about actual enforcement of a crime, it's a little different.
We'll see.
Listen, he's in a unique position because, to be honest, he does know where some of those bodies are buried, so to speak, and they're basically, like, you know, not supporting him. I mean, appropriately, you know. But with that being said, who knows? He might end up turning coat and then all of a sudden end up giving us a whole bunch of information about the whole Democratic Party. Who knows? You know, to save his own skin. I have no idea. But I am grateful that these women came and went ahead and decided to do what they're doing. I hear there's a lot more than 4, and I'm waiting. And if by chance he wants to be dumb enough to stay in the race, then basically, you know, we'll see where the chips fall. He's not going to be going back to Congress, so that's good.
He looks scared to me.
You know,
When he's in this cheap hotel room making this statement of denial. He looks like a broken man all alone.
Well, he's always kind of looked that way, in my opinion. It was just waiting for, you know, a shoe to fall. This type of behavior doesn't go unnoticed. And, you know, to be honest, just like with other individuals, you know, the people that are in Washington, they have their little groups and they have their activities that, you know, are disgusting.
Yes.
And they all know about this stuff, and they don't say anything.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, listen, I got to move on, but you make some good points, and stay in touch. Since you're in California, you might pick some things up in the local news that we miss nationally. So if you hear anything, you know, as the days go by, you're always welcome to call in.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, all right,
I'll
take it.
send it to you. Your email.
Okay, appreciate it. Oh no email. I don't do email, guys, unless really I don't click any links that are sent to me ever. So going back to this, this is CNN. They actually interviewed one of the accusers of Eric Swalwell. Oh boy. Okay, now stay by. This is the first time that I've seen a Democrat put through this since Gary Condit. Guys, remember Gary Condit? Gary Condit was having a consensual affair, Chandra Levy, with a young girl in her 20s that worked for him, and she got killed. They found her body dead in the park. Remember that? And and that was a consensual thing, but he was having an affair. He was married, and he was a California. Wasn't Gary Condit a California Democrat? And yeah, pretty bad. And the press were all over him, and things were coming down. And then 9/11 happened. It was right before 9/11. And 9/11, he had to leave Congress, but 9/11 saved him for anything further. But here we have these multiple women who have come forward. Okay, now before we get to the rest of this, I want to take a quick break, and then after the break, we're going to hear from the victim. Okay, that they interviewed. I'd like to tell you this special going on at MyPillow.com is absolutely amazing right now. And Mother's Day is right around the corner. Father's Day is a month later. And with my promo code KANE, KANE, at checkout at MyPillow.com, you can get incredible deals and incredible savings throughout the site. You can use my promo code KANE at checkout on any specials at MyPillow.com. Right now, the MyPillow is just $19.98. And I've been telling you guys, You see how much I'm on YouTube. I mean, I'm on YouTube all the time. All right, early morning hours. I do streams at 3 a.m. and then I do a 3-hour stream every morning, sometimes a 4-hour stream, afternoon streams. And I work throughout the day too, doing work for the podcast, my YouTube channel, the radio station. And you always see that I'm well rested. It's because I don't sleep very much, but that little sleep I get is with all the MyPillow sleep system, the MyPillow mattress topper. I've got all the MyPillow products. So that little bit of sleep I get is deep, well-rested sleep. You can be well-rested like I am too. Great gifts for Mother's Day. Go to mypillow.com. Use my promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll hear from Eric Swalwell's victim. She gave an interview coming up. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, where MAGA comes to talk. All right, we'll take a call or two. If you're watching live on YouTube, you're welcome to call in, and the number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, Richie.
Keep up with you. I can't even get a Saturday morning sleep because it's so exciting.
Exactly, I know.
Let me say this.
Telling you.
Let me say this to you. I believe that half of Washington D.C. is like this creep. I want to remind you, didn't they just vote against Anna Polina, a bill that with, in other words, exposing any sexual misconduct? They all voted it down.
Yeah, well, all the Democrats agree that in Eric Swalwell's case, women should be believed. And I'm calling on the release of all of the Fang files that Kash Patel's been talking about. I'm sure you'll agree with me on that. Let's release the Fang files.
100%. But Brian, he's just one of many. I have to tell you, I think most of them up there.
So what? I mean, listen, we can't. So what? We can't do anything about that. We got one right now, okay? And this guy. Let me tell you something. You know, if you were and I were in a bar and we were leaving and we saw a man attack a woman out in the parking lot, we would intervene and stop him. But we wouldn't say, oh, well, there's women being assaulted outside of bars all over the world. What are we going to bother with this guy for? You go and you take care of business and you send a strong message that this type of behavior is not acceptable, and you send them to jail.
100%. I agree with you. I think this guy deserves, and not only that, I'm going to say it because this is true. He is so anti-Trump, and he was so disgusting with some of his attacks from President Trump. You know, I watched this guy over and over, and I said to myself, even before he was running for governor, I mean, just when he was congressman, he's just a dirtbag, a total dirtbag.
Yes.
I mean, he's such a lying partisan. So it couldn't happen to a better guy, man. And he can't defend. How's he going to defend himself?
Mm-hmm.
He you know.
Yeah.
His word against.
There's no defending it because you've got 4 women that have been confirmed. Their stories are believed by CNN, and they're interviewing them. And there's other women too. So he's done. I think there's a very good chance he goes to jail over this.
No, you're right, because well, when it's rape, when you bring a woman into a hotel room and she's intoxicated, she doesn't have she's not giving you consent.
She can't.
She doesn't have the ability.
She can't.
To give you consent.
Yeah,
she can't. So it is rape. It's cut and dry rape. I mean, that is rape.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't. I think, like I said, I think he's done. And
well, and this is so good, because what this could do, Richie, is open the door to have a Republican governor of California. And let me tell you, having Steve Hilton as the governor of California would change the country dramatically.
Can I? Yeah, I don't want to change the show, but I got to tell you, didn't you hear the latest thing? The latest thing with Mondani and the 250th anniversary.
Well, I've been telling you guys that this guy is not an American. Okay, I mean, he may have a paper that says he's not allowing them to celebrate America's 250th anniversary in Times Square, which a big celebration was set up for that. Yeah, I know. He doesn't understand the significance of it. It's not an important day to him. He has no. I was a little kid. You were older, but I remember the bicentennial. And to have
my daughter was born then.
Yeah, I was 5, and it was a big deal. And and it was such a unifier, because Vietnam had just ended in '75, and the bicentennial really started to bring the country back together after the Vietnam era a little bit. It was a big deal.
The big celebrity on stage was Neil Diamond with his song "They're Coming to America."
That's right.
But the thing is this: I disagree with you there. I think he knows the importance, and I think he's doing it to stick it right to us.
It's possible.
You have Times Square every day. They're out there praying on their pray clothes, whatever.
Yeah,
at Times
5
Square.
times a day.
And he had communist flags at the last demonstration.
Yeah.
No king.
No, I don't. It could be a mix of both, but to him, he doesn't understand. He really doesn't, because he's not one of us. He's not an American. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked on that right now, Richie. But I do appreciate the call. Right, you take care. All right. So back to CNN. They interviewed the major accuser of Swalwell. CNN. Wow. Wow. Unreal. I mean, this is some pretty bad stuff he's done, and it very well could save California, right? I mean, it could, and when the thing about this story with Eric Swalwell is it's almost unheard of for something like this to happen to a Democrat, and one of the things that's important about this, we are in a real national red pilling has been going on for years in this country, courtesy of our favorite president and the greatest president. His name's Donald Trump, the 45th and 47th president. And there's been a lot of evildoers that have been trying to stop the MAGA movement. And the MAGA movement's growing and it's stronger each and every day. And I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm MAGA for life, and I hope you guys are as well. And this story with Eric Swalwell is not just a normal story, because there's a big turning point in California going on right now, right? All the top California Democrats are against him now. Gavin Newsom, Pelosi, and Schiff, they're all against Eric Swalwell. And how the election goes in California this time is an unknown, but there's a move in California back to conservatism. You guys got to understand, we've got two incredible Republicans have come to us out of California, Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon. Okay, and there are more Republicans in California than in the state of Florida, but they haven't felt like it made any difference, so they really haven't participated, most of them. Now they are. We've got Spencer Pratt, we've got Steve Hilton, and we've got ICE on our side out there. And how things turn out in this election, I don't know. It's unpredictable. But in the next 2-3 election cycles, California is moving towards becoming a battleground state. And if you think it's impossible, the state of Florida that I'm in, I'm very blessed to live in Florida. I lived here almost my entire life since I was a little kid. And Florida is the greatest state in the union. And, in my opinion, I love Florida. And, the thing about California, okay, people thought California was lost. Well, people used to think that about Florida. Florida used to be a Democrat state, and then it used to be a toss-up state. And now it's solidly Republican, and it's not going back. It's just not. And if Florida could flip from a Democrat to a swing state and then to a hardcore Republican state, California can too, because of all the great things that President Trump has done, in particular with the deportations and with ICE and such. And that's going to have a tremendous impact in California, as will this. And people of California have been living under this tyranny, and Republicans are going to start to make moves. You have a hope. Now, I wanted to share this clip. Poor Erica Kirk. I mean, what they have put Erica Kirk through, Candace Owens and these people, they're just scum times infinity. I mean, you don't go after widows. Come on. Going after Erica Kirk is like going after Jackie Kennedy months after the assassination of her husband. You just don't do that. And, Erica Kirk's got a lot on her plate. She's got, she's a young wife with a young husband with young kids. And her husband, it was the first political assassination of a non-elected official since Martin Luther King in 1968. It was very graphic, seen by the entire world. I believe, I understand that the shooter was the shooter. I'm not questioning whether the shooter was the shooter. He's even confessed. Okay, so I agree with that, but I believe he was a patsy, part of a larger conspiracy. I believe that Charlie Kirk was assassinated by the Never Trumpers, and they got their patsy. The same people that were behind the shooting of the president in Butler and behind the second attempt at the golf course assassinated Charlie Kirk. In my opinion, I don't get into all that craziness that Candace does, but there's a bigger picture here. And Erica Kirk's got a lot on her plate. You know, in a normal situation where you lose, when a wife has a young husband and young kids, and the husband dies, it's shattering to the family, right? But what you got on her is a brutal political assassination. That she's afraid for her children and even herself. You know, Jackie Kennedy married that scummy Onassis. The reason she did is because he was so rich, she could leave the country, and she was scared. You know, Bobby Kennedy got killed. She was afraid that her children were going to be killed, Jackie Kennedy. That's why she went and married Onassis. Erica Kirk's got a similar thing. Plus, she's trying to keep her husband's legacy alive by keeping Turning Point USA afloat, which is a very difficult thing. And whether or not she's actually running the day-to-day or even qualified to do so, I don't know. But she's the face of it. And that's what could keep it alive. So she's got a lot on her plate. She's dealing with the normal grief that a woman would deal with when their husband is murdered and they have young children. On top of that, it's a high-profile political assassination. She's got major concerns about her safety and the safety of her children. There's copycat lunatics out there. You know, all of us that are, you know, are conservatives have I've got lunatics that threaten me and stalk me and do things. Okay, you know, can you imagine on that level? You know what she's dealing with after the Charlie Kirk, and then she's trying to keep the Turning Point afloat. So everything that Charlie worked his life for and died for. Remember, because the Never Trumpers killed Charlie to destroy Turning Point. That's a lot. And then you have these scum buckets attacking her all the time. Okay, this is insane. So she gave an interview. Listen. Yep. Yeah, you know, and these people going after Erica Kirk, shame on all of them. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. And, you know, President Trump, he did such a great thing this week, calling out Tucker and Candace and Alex Jones, and, you know, and Megan too. But he did a great service doing that. And I'm not going to play this clip of Alex Jones because it's inappropriate. But what Alex Jones said in his studio yesterday is, I don't know, he may get a visit from the Secret Service over what he said. And he's having a meltdown because, you know, what President Trump did, and this is what, you know, Alex Jones is totally freaked out. He's in a panic because what President Trump did was excommunicate Alex Jones, Candace Owens, and Tucker from the MAGA movement. Officially, it's been an official excommunication from the MAGA movement, and Alex Jones is in a panic. He's afraid that everything is going to collapse for him over it, and maybe it will. I mean, you have President Trump excommunicating you like he did these guys. It's going to have an impact on them, and I hope it does, because these people are working so hard to undermine the greatest political movement of our time, which is the MAGA movement that was started and is run by President Trump. And decades from now, when the president's no longer with us, we'll have his family, Don and Eric and Ivanka, even Kai Trump and Barron and all the rest. The MAGA movement is here forever. Okay, it's not going anywhere. And these people are, they're just shameful. Now, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I want to get back and talk about some of the latest things that are going on. All right, my name is Brian. This is the Brian Craig Show, where MAGA comes to talk. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number is 888-465-2631. Back after this. And by the way, guys, the 15th is the deadline. You still have time. Call Jamie Levac. Call him today. Text him. You still have time to get your taxes done by Jamie Levac. And by the way, with Jamie Levac, you can get your return in as little as 24 hours. If you think you need to file an extension, he can handle that for you too, very easily. And of course, Jamie Levac at Swift Tax can help you with your taxes no matter where you're located in the United States. So call or text 954-773-1587. He's located right here in South Florida, but he can help you nationwide. Also with your state taxes as well, and your business taxes and such. But don't think because the deadline's too close, it's too late. It is not. Call or text 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. All right, we're back, and I am Brian. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast. I want to talk about what's going on in Iran, because the treaty negotiations, peace treaty negotiations, are beginning today in Pakistan. J.D. Vance is there leading our delegation. Let me play this clip of the president. This is on the tarmac yesterday, and then we'll talk. Yeah, there's so much false reporting coming out of Iran, mostly from liberal news sources. We don't know what's going on over there. No one does, because it's so chaotic. Here's another clip of the president. Okay. Yeah, and we're going to do it for the world, not for us, because we don't use it. So, what's going on here with the peace treaty negotiations? This is how it's done. Okay, we have obliterated that. They have been defeated. They have spent Iran have spent 47 years building an army, a navy, and an air force. It's devastated. They're back to the Stone Ages. They don't have a single ship. Their submarine fleet destroyed, their surface fleet destroyed, their entire air force destroyed. Their factories that they use to make rockets, rocket launchers, and drones destroyed. Their army weapons destroyed. Most all of their rockets and rocket launchers destroyed. They've been cut off from Russia as a supplier of weapons. And so when this is all over, this is not going to be the same Iran that we had 40 days ago, because they don't have any juice anymore. Their juice was their military. It's gone. A country without a military. And they've been bullying these countries of the Middle East around for 47 years. Imagine if all of a sudden we didn't have an army, we didn't have rockets and missiles, an air force, or a navy. What do you think the world would do to us? You think they'd pay attention to the United States? No. We're so strong militarily, they leave us alone. And but if all of a sudden we didn't have any of these things, we'd be done. And that's what's going to happen to Iran. And what President Trump said here, it was never about regime change. He has always, see, this is one of the things that's new with President Trump. He said it's up to the people to do regime change. Now, there has been a regime change because the Ayatollah and his family are no longer in charge. President Trump killed all of them. And the Revolutionary Guard leadership are all dead too. He left the president of Iran alive on purpose so they had someone to deal with. And that's what's going on. But he said that it is up to, and he said this from day one, it's up to the people of Iran to stand up for permanent regime change, not us. And, when he has said no more forever wars, you can't force a country to have a regime change by sending in an army and putting your people in power. It just doesn't work. And President Trump knows that. That's why there's no forever wars, not no new wars. He never said that. He said no more forever wars. Now, of course, the liberals say he said no more. He said no more forever wars. You can't become president and say no more wars. That means countries can do whatever they want and you can't retaliate. That's not even a credible statement. It's insane. But the media, the left, the Democrats, and the Never Trumpers desperately want the peace treaty talks to fail, and they want the war to heat up. They want us to have to send soldiers into Iran. And the media are just making stories up or reporting things that they know are false, being reported by internal Iranian sources that are not credible because they're trying to stir up trouble. And President Trump's not going to let that get involved. No one knows anything about the negotiations. President Trump has kept a very tight lid on all of this. And if you listen to both the president and the vice president, they've all said that Iran better not play any games or they'll be done. And you know what? They will be. Now, if you're new to the program, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And you guys know I'm here all the time, every day of the week, mornings, afternoons, middle of the night. You never know when I'm going to pop up, but I am live every morning, 7 days a week without fail, and most afternoons. So make sure you follow and subscribe. And if you'd like to become a member of my Patreon group, please do. There's a link in the description on whatever platform you're listening on, whether it's YouTube or one of the podcast platforms. The link to my Patreon page is in the description of the episode. And when you become a Patreon member, you're really an insider member. You get access to a lot of insider things, including Patreon member only insider live streams. I do live streams on YouTube just for the Patreon members. It's a private group where no trolls are allowed, except those of you who are members of my Patreon. And it's much like the live stream on YouTube with a live chat and everything. There's just no trolls in there. You get access to commercial-free editions of all my podcast episodes and a lot of other exclusive content that you will see nowhere else. If you become a top Patreon supporter, you get your name up on the screen on YouTube and a live on-air thank you shout-out. So the names you'll hear now are my top Patreon supporters. I want to thank ETW, SFjr, Christine, Chuck, Pamela, Nick, Wesley, Doris, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Alice, LeeZep, Shawna, George, Brandon, John, Frank, Dale, Tina, David, Laura, Rob, Wes, Sue, Janice, Teresa, Irene, and Rick. These are my top Patreon supporters. Thank you all for your support. And again, there's a link to my Patreon page in the description of the episode on whatever platform you're on. Become a Patreon member, and you're a member of the Insider Club. All right, guys? And your support is greatly appreciated, too. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. And before you go, guys, make sure to like the video if you're watching on YouTube. Okay? If you're watching on YouTube, it's very important to like the video. That's how my videos get recommended to people that have not yet found me. And liking the video helps grow the channel and the community and get the word out. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll see you later today